So you're thinking about trying breathwork. You're curious. But as soon as you picture yourself walking into a new, unknown room, your brain begins firing off a rapid-fire interrogation. Will I know what to do? Am I going to totally lose control? Am I going to ugly cry in front of 9 strangers? Is everyone else going to have a profound, life-altering spiritual breakthrough while I lie there wondering if I left the oven on? And the biggest one, what if I do all this breathing and literally nothing happens? By the end of today's episode, you're going to know exactly what happens before, during, and after a Breath.Energy breathwork session. You'll know what to expect, how your body might react, and how to prepare so you don't show up in the wrong pants. Let's demystify the whole thing. The pants thing is kind of a big deal. There is no right or wrong way. Let's start with rule number 1 at Breath.Energy. There is no right or wrong way to do breath work. There is only more skillful and less skillful ways to connect your breath. Skill comes with repetition. Nobody walks into their very first session looking like a Zen master. You're learning a brand new breathing pattern. It might feel awkward at first. You might lose the rhythm. You might breathe too hard. You might forget to relax on the exhale. Or you might get derailed by a random thought, a random noise, or the sudden terrifying realization that you have apparently never known what to do with your hands. That is all normal. Your first session isn't a pop quiz. Nobody's walking around with a clipboard grading your breathing technique. You get better by practicing. The end. Arriving and preparing. Pants, snacks, and traffic. A good breathwork session starts before the breathing begins. When you arrive at our studio, you'll be greeted, shown to your mat, and given time to settle in, stretch out, and ask questions. You'll get the practical instructions and safety lowdown. Pro tip on attire: wear comfortable clothes you can lie down in. This is not the night to debut those structural, high-waisted denim jeans that require you to remain upright with perfect posture just to survive. Leave the fashion statements at home. Wear sweatpants or jammies. If you're going to wear jammies, make sure they're modest ones. For real. Follow the studio's guidance on food and water beforehand and let your facilitator know about anything relevant going on with your health. It's not a formality, it's how they take care of you once you're on the mat. Give yourself enough time to get here. Can you fight bumper-to-bumper traffic, drive laps around the parking lot, yell at your navigation system, and then sprint into your mat at the last second? Sure, it's possible. It's not very elegant. The opening circle and intentions. Before we begin breathing, we do an opening circle. We go around the room and share our intention for the session as an I am statement. Things like, I am calm, I am safe, I am clear, I am worthy, I love myself. Why do we phrase it like that? Because your mind needs a clear direction, and it doesn't do negatives. If I tell you right now, do not think about an elephant, boom, what are you thinking about? An elephant. You're probably wondering if it's African or Asian elephant and whether or not it's wearing a tiny little party hat. My elephant's always wearing a tiny little party hat. The instruction not to created the image. So instead of setting an intention like, I am not anxious, we say, I am calm. Instead of, I'm not confused, we say, I am clear. It gives your brain a clear target to move towards. Please note, an intention is a compass, not a contract. You aren't ordering a specific result off of Uber Eats. You're setting the direction. Learning the pattern. The facilitator guides you through the technique. Conscious, connected breathing. In this style, the inhale and exhale are connected in a continuous loop. No pauses at the top or the bottom. The inhale is active and full of effort. The exhale is a passive relief. Inhale, engage. Exhale, let go. It's a life lesson disguised as a breath. It's like pulling back a bow and arrow. You pull the string, that's effort. Then you let the arrow go, that's release. You can't keep pulling the bow forever and expect the arrow to go anywhere. And you definitely can't let go of the bow while trying to hang on to the arrow to control the outcome. During the setup phase, the facilitator helps you find a strong, sustainable groove And don't be surprised if you get coaching along the way. A cue to strengthen the inhale, a nudge to soften the exhale, a reminder to smooth out a pause. It's tuning the instrument. Still, there's no right way or wrong way, just more and less skillful. The guided portion. For roughly the first 20 minutes, the session is guided. The facilitator will talk you through it, reminding you to relax your body, stay with the rhythm, and remember your intention. This period is crucial because in the first 10 minutes, your mind is going to be hyperactive. Am I doing this right? Is the guy next to me breathing faster than me? Was that loud noise in my stomach? Should my left foot be tingling like that? The guidance helps you ride out that initial awkward phase. After about 20 minutes, the pattern locks in and you get good at it. At that point, the facilitator will say, "You are not your body. You are not your mind. You are the infinite and eternal animating energy of both." And then the facilitator will go quiet and the music gets louder. This is not a sound bath, it's soul work to a soundtrack. Trademark pending. The self-guided portion. That silence in guidance is intentional. If the facilitator rambled on for the whole hour, your conscious mind would stay trapped in listening mode. You'd be analyzing their words, interpreting meaning, wondering what song is coming next. The conscious mind loves a project. Give it one sentence and it'll form a subcommittee to debate its meaning. Silence dismisses the committee. As the talking stops, your analytical brain throws up its hands and settles down. That creates space for your subconscious to step forward. Memories, emotions, physical sensations, or sudden epiphanies start floating to the surface. Self-guided doesn't mean that you're neglected. The facilitators are right there, holding space and keeping you safe. We stop narrating so your own experience can take the mic. We trust your subconscious and its wisdom. What you might feel. What does this feel like physically? It's a wide variety. You might feel tingling in your fingers, a wave of warmth or cool air, lightness, heaviness, muscle tightness in your hands or face. Muscles might relax. You might get a dry mouth or feel energy moving around. Or you might feel so deeply relaxed that your body physically disappears. All or none of these may happen. You do not need a dramatic, mind-bending physical experience to prove breath work is working. Intensity does not equal value. Emotional emergence. Emotionally, the floodgates can open, or they might barely crack. You might feel overwhelming peace, sudden sadness, bursts of joy and anger, or deep gratitude. You might laugh out loud. You might cry. Or you might feel completely neutral. And here's the thing worth remembering. An emotion showing up doesn't mean something went wrong. And no emotion showing up doesn't mean something went wrong either. Neither one is the correct outcome. If your mind goes quiet, great. If your mind starts racing, great. Don't fight your racing mind. Make it go faster. Let the engine rev. You don't have to figure it out while it's happening. Trying to analyze why you're feeling a certain emotion yanks you straight out of your body and right back into your head. That's no bueno. You have the rest of your life to figure out what it meant. In the middle of breath work, feel it. Let the meaning catch up later. What if nothing happens? Let's address the elephant in the room. What if nothing happens? The very first time I did breath work, nothing happened. Zip, nada, zilch, bupkis. I was bamboozled and hoodwinked. I laid on a yoga mat with a sore back and stared at the ceiling for 2 hours and thought, I knew it. And look at me now. Sometimes your first session is about learning how to lie still. It's about noticing how easily distracted you are, or realizing that relaxing your exhale feels like the emotional equivalent of handing your car keys to a total stranger. That isn't nothing. It's learning. The session didn't fail because it didn't match your expectations. Skill takes repetition. And for what it's worth, if you walk out of your first breathwork class and feel like nothing happened, come find one of us afterward. About 1 out of 150 people doesn't have an experience. We take care of it when it does happen. At a certain point, the music slows down. This isn't filler time, it's integration. Your breath flows, your nervous system lands, and your physical sensations soften. You might feel peaceful, exhausted, hyper focused, or just hungry. Breathwork burns a surprising amount of energy. We put it right in the name. Then we gather in a closing circle. Everyone has the opportunity to share a few words about their experience. Some pass. Everything here is by consent. I love hearing the contrast in these circles. One person will say, I felt connected to the universe, and another says, I let go of 10 years of grief, and then the next person says, I'm not totally sure what happened, but I urgently need a sandwich. Every share is valid. After the mat integration, here's the part people forget to ask about. What do you do with all of this once you leave the studio? That's what integration is, and it's not optional homework. It's the part where the session starts paying off in your life. It might look like journaling, drinking water, taking a walk, telling someone you trust what came up or what the experience was like, acting on an insight that surfaced, or just letting the whole thing settle without immediately turning it into a 5-step self-improvement plan. The session itself matters, but what it's worth shows up in how you carry it into the rest of your week. Before we wrap, here's the short version. There's no right or wrong way, only more or less skillful, and skill builds with repetition. Pick a positive I am intention. Let the guided portion teach you the pattern. Let the self-guided portion do its thing without narrating it to death. You don't need to understand it in the moment. You have the rest of your life for that. Share at the end or pass, then go integrate it. Don't file it away. Reading about breathwork is like reading a manual on how to ride a bicycle. You can study the book, but at some point you have to get on the seat and start pedaling. And don't worry, we're going to hold the seat for you while you learn to balance. So as you prepare, ask yourself one simple question. What quality would you like more of in your life? Then turn that into an I am statement. I am clear, I am calm, I am grounded, I am connected, I am courageous, I am compassionate, I am open, I am abundant. Keep it simple. The best intention isn't the most impressive one. It's the one that means something to you. When I'm facilitating the intention portion of class, I feel like a waiter complimenting patrons on their order from the menu. Ah, piece, excellent choice, sir. The piece was freshly caught this morning, flown in. It's exquisite. There's no right or wrong way, only more and less skillful practice. And that skill grows a little more every time you take a conscious, connected breath. Now that you know what a session looks like, next episode, we're tackling the safety question, is breathwork safe for everyone? And who might need to modify their practice? Until then, remember, no belief needed. Just stay curious enough to test it yourself. How you breathe is how you live. So take a committed breath